Hey, it's Karen from Langate Farm. Today we're going to make a traditional Dala horse. Okay, I realize the one in my hand is not the traditional colors, but you guys, I posted this prototype and you guys really liked it, so we're going to go ahead and film one for you so you can see how to make it. Key things to take home with you about this. This horse is very firm, way firmer than I normally felt, because in order to put this decoration on, you have to have a super firm body. Otherwise, this will all sink in. You won't see it. So we're going to do this a little bit different than normal. This is your traditional Dala horse, normally in red with bits of color. The designs all differ. You're going to need to go into Google, type in Dala horse images, and look at what you like. We do have a template that will be available. And here's what you need. It takes 2 ounces of core wool. Really, there is 2 ounces of this in this. That tells you how firm it has to be. Then you need whatever body color you're going to do. And we'll talk about this color is a blend. It's a straight blend of 50% scarlet, 50% begonia. That gives you the closest color I can get to this horse. So I blended this on the drum carder. And then I have a bunch of various colors and locks that I'm going to pull color out of for this decoration. I pulled purple instead of navy blue. For this, you need one 12-inch 16 gauge wire, and then you need 2 I didn't write it down. They're 6 inches though. 2 6-inch 16 gauge wires. We tested this design out today at Meetup Monday, and we needed longer wires, so you need a longer wire. And then we're going to get started, and I will teach you how to make this armature, and we'll get going on felting it. All right, so let's get started. You're going to use your 12-inch wire, 16 gauge wire. You're going to find center, but don't crimp the center. Don't crimp it. So the shape we're going for looks something like this. Okay, that got a little wrinkled because I was trying to make it right. I want you to take your template, kind of find center, kind of make it a big fish here. I want you to find center, and then we're just going to twist this down. Okay? Don't worry about your horse shape yet. Just twist this down. This is his backbone. All right, we're going to come there. Now, you got to adjust this a little bit. So, the thing about a Dala horse, I went and read, because I was not super familiar with them when I got a request to make one, is that they were traditionally carved out of wood, which is why their shape is so square. In Sweden, leftover wood from furniture manufacturing was made into these little horses. So we're just going to follow our little template. This is just going to be inside of your horse. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to put this all aside. And you're going to take your core wool. I tear off, a nice 12-inch piece, basically, and split it in half. So the first thing I do is I'm going to go inside his head. And remember, we're just covering the wire. So I'm inside the head. I wrap it to the back. And now I'm going to wrap it around just a little, just like 1 or 2 times, and secure it. And I'm actually felting with my left hand, which I just wanted to secure that. And we're just covering the wire, flat wrapping. We're going to go along. So when I tell you that this is a very firm-bodied felting, it is firm-bodied. I've worked on my guy all day. More than I did the first one, and I got a way better shape the second time I've done this. So I didn't get that all the way covered. Let's just bring it out. Remember, our goal here is just to cover this. The basic shape is not hard to make. For some reason, I like to work with the head on the left. Okay, the next thing, we're going to take this extra piece we have, and let's just cover this body. We're just going to cover along. We just want this covered. And I believe you end up with about an inch, just about an inch of covering. So when you're wrapping this, you know, I always say work smarter, not harder. I keep telling you this needs to be very firm. Okay, another piece. I'm going to split it again. I'm going to wrap one more. It's like hot dog sized, because I'm gonna say that a lot because we're gonna make 2 more hot dogs. Okay, I'm gonna felt this a little bit. Firm. We want this guy firm all the way through. And you know, I don't normally say that. Be mindful that there's wire in here around your needle. You don't want this to get loose anywhere. You want it to stay nice and firm. All right. Now, I forgot my skewer. Cannon's gonna look. What? All right. You need a skewer. I forgot to tell you you needed a skewer. Okay, so now we are going to make serious hot dogs here. And let me show you why. So these guys are not, they're 1.5 inches wide right here. So we don't want to wrap and get a nice big fat horse. We want to keep him nice 1.5 inches wide. So to do that, to maintain the width, we're going to go on our template over here. It's like, all right, he needs to be about that long. Mark it with your finger. And we're going to wrap. I'm kind of excited. This is kind of a fun project. I love when people give me a challenge. Challenge accepted. Felt it on. So we know that this is how big it needs to be because we compared it to our template. Keep going. I'm probably going to do one more wrap after this. Nice and tight. Which kind of tea did you get?
Jasmine green tea.
Oh yeah, that's the good one. That's
honey.
Mm-hmm.
The cup kind of goes with the theme of the video.
Oh, it does. That's hilarious. It's cats, though.
It's cats and dogs, yeah.
Yeah, it's cats and dogs. This is a horse. All right, so now we have an actual hot dog shape, and it sticks out a little bit here because it matches. Remember, it matches the length of our template. So this one is going to go here. All right, making shapes. Now we're going to make a skinnier one, shorter, to go here. Measure with your skewer. And remember what I said, wrap it tight, nice and tight, because the tighter you wrap it, the less poking you have to do to get this nice and firm. Were there any chicken enchiladas left in there?
I didn't see any.
I know there's rice. I know that there's rice in the rice cooker. Yeah, you missed a good one today.
That's what you had. Chicken enchiladas.
Chicken
nice.
enchiladas and homemade refried beans and Caesar salad.
Is it Spanish rice?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's some in there still. Okay, so here we have. I know that my ladies had trouble with this today, so I want you to start stabbing this shape into the other shape. Remember, we're not making him, we're just making it deeper rather than. The very first horse I made like a horse shape with the wire. It took forever to get it firm, and this is way better, way faster. So let's do this. So this is kind of tacked together, right? It's lightly tacked, and right now it doesn't look like anything. It just looks like 3 hot dogs in a row. All right, we're gonna wrap. We're gonna wrap this around. You want to keep them stacked. Tight. Tight, tight, tight. You're going to get tired of me saying that. I know, because the girls today did. And then they would hand me their horse and I'd say, nope, not good enough. Piece. And it starts looking like a brontosaurus before it starts looking like anything. This is the fastest way I can figure out to get this firm. You can see that it's happening already. So then we have another piece. This next wrap is going to go from here around that piece. And you really want to felt this on. Remember, we're making a square block. We're not making a rounded animal figure. And that was actually hard for me. And actually, wait till we get to the ears, because the ears are the hardest. It's hard to make that little triangle. I know it sounds really silly, but there's a little triangle that you make for the ears, and it's hard to get it into a triangle, nice and angular. This is glue that's holding all of our pieces together. So you want to keep checking your template. You can see we are getting there. We're definitely there on the height. Measure. We're at about 1 inch right now. We want to be at 1.5 inches. So we're going to go around again. We just got to get this all melded together now. So what do you think of it with cream cheese in it? Or do you like the other one better?
I like it more.
You like it more?
Mm-hmm.
That was the general consensus today. So I make a crostata with pie filling and crumbly top, and it's yummy. Today I just got a wild hair and I put a cream cheese filling in with the cherry.
It's delicious. I'm trying not to eat it all in one go over here.
Isn't there more?
There's another slice, yeah.
Yeah.
Left it for John.
Huh? I can make him another one. They're fairly easy to make. Okay, I gotta take the lay of the land here. I'm getting there. I'm just about there. So remember, I'm just gonna get you guys to the point where all the pieces are in place on this. And then I'm going to I'm going to show you what completely felted underlayment looks like. And like I said, it took a long time. So you can see I've already used over half my core wool that I showed you. So there's already a lot of core wool in here. Can you believe I've already used that much? That's how tight we're wrapping. And we're trying to make this square, pretty square. Now, before you get it too square or too tight, we want to put in the leg wires. So on the template, I want to show you. You want to set it a little bit back from the front leg and a little bit back from the back leg, but your goal is a straight line down and pretty much a straight line down here. The reason you're insetting it a little bit is to allow for the wrapping around the wire. So we're going to set it in about right there. And you want to go up, it's about a ½ inch up, and poke the hole with your skewer. And then follow that wire through. You've got it. And find center. Okay, and then we'll do the back one. About the same. Half the way up. Now, I think 5½ inches is the actual right measurement for the wire, but I made them 6 because Beverly's legs came out too short. And I figure if I make the wire 6 inches, I can cut them off where I want them after. So I can look at this and say, okay, these legs need to be approximately 1 3/4 inches long when they're finished from the body. 1 3/4 from the body. So we have a ½ inch we can bend up. That's what you need to know. I saw one person post their cats and their ghosts. Did you see them?
Yeah,
they were
really
awesome.
Yeah.
They were awesome. We need more people to post their cats and ghosts. They did a really good job. Really good job. So we had our last wedding of the season on Saturday. So and here I am talking and not telling them what to do. All right, so I start my wrapping right there, secure that in. These are not skinny legs, but they're also not super, super thick. So we want flat, flat. Keep your finger on it. All right, so what did I say they had to be? 2½? They need to be 1 3/4 from the body. So we're going to measure 1 3/4, which is about right there. This is going to get bent up. And then we're going to wrap the same way we were wrapping. I always wrap away from myself. You can wrap whatever way feels comfortable for you. Now my roving just got a little bit thick, so I'm going to draft it out a little bit. I'm going to move that needle out of my way. So you know how I say I don't like to work with full armatures because the wires get in the way and things get caught. If you notice on this back wire, I have caught that piece of fiber. I had caught that fiber. So that's kind of a pain. So you don't have to put the back ones in until you have the front ones on if you don't want to. And then let's secure that fiber. You can hear how firm my body is already. So we should have some. Measure our leg. 1 3/4 is what we want. I'm still a little bit long, but I'm going to pull it through. I'm going to pull this wire. Let's give it a little bend so we know where we want the other leg to be. That's about what we want. So don't worry about evening this out yet because we can spin it. And yes, right now it looks like a brontosaurus, doesn't it? It's a brontosaurus.
Not sure what a brontosaurus is.
It's a dinosaur. Oh my goodness.
I know it's a dinosaur, but I don't know what that is.
It's a dinosaur.
Kind of just looks like every four-legged thing.
Right, right. At this point, once we get this on, it's like, well, it could go any which way, almost. Almost. Except that this thing is so square. It doesn't have any rounded edges, really. And I am really good at making rounded edges, and I was having a hard time with this, actually. I kept wanting to make it more anatomically correct than it is. So let's secure that fiber. You know, everybody is better at one side than the other. I'm better at the right side than the left side. I don't know why. Oh, I hear John. Was he in here when you came in?
No.
Oh, he's been out in the shop, I think, working on some stuff. So now we want to make sure that the legs are the same size. And they do need to be firm because they have decoration on them too. I know you knew I was going to say that, right? I'm just going to take a little piece here to even this one out. They're not skinny little legs, but you do want them all the same size. All the same size. So we went to the pumpkin patch yesterday with the grandchild. That was very fun. But holy cow, logged 10,000 steps before 2 o'clock. It's quite the pumpkin patch. So many things to do. Paintball. We got to shoot paintball guns. That was kind of fun. Have you ever played paintball?
Yeah, it is fun.
Well,
what were you shooting them at?
Targets.
Okay.
Just targets. You get, you know, it was part of the admission where they give you X number of paintballs to shoot. You stand in line and then they give you a bag of paintballs and then you get to shoot all at these targets. It's kind of fun. I don't think I've ever shot a paintball gun before. And then we did the hayride. And then we did the bee train. I was telling Cannon. That was kind of funny. Because we had to get into these 55-gallon drums with wheels. Not my finest moment, for sure. Grandma, you gotta go. Okay, okay. Yeah, my knees were up to my chin. Getting out was a trick. So see, it looks like a brontosaurus, right? Oh, no, don't come out. I almost lost my wire. There we go. Okay.
Did they have like a corn maze and all that?
Oh, yeah, we got lost.
Yeah.
We got lost in there. I wanted to look at the picture before we went in, and John wouldn't let me. I was like, let me look at the picture. Because if I can orient myself, I'm pretty good at directions. I could not orient myself in there. And then we knew we were getting close. And Sadie, the 3-year-old, says, Grandpa, we need to go this way. And he says, no, we need to go this way. And Sadie was right. The 3-year-old was right. We should have listened to her. We ended up going in this big old circle. And you know, the scary part's when you start passing people that you've seen before.
Oh, gosh.
They're like, you lost too? Yeah, we're lost.
Those are fun.
It was pretty funny.
Is there like a haunted house or anything going on?
They have Friday and Saturday nights, they have the Fright Maze.
Oh, cool.
Remember when we did that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
good times.
So what I'm reminding Cannon of is when we worked at our old job, our company actually haunted the maze. Were you part of the haunting?
Yeah.
You were?
Yeah, I always participated in getting a room and.
So what did you do in the corn maze?
Oh, the corn. Well, no, just the haunted house that we did, not
No.
the corn maze.
Oh, you didn't. Were you there when we haunted that maze?
No,
Oh
that
my.
was before I started.
Okay, so I went through that maze. Right, I about died. I was so scared. Oh my gosh, we had chainsaws. Oh, that was Fort Vanoy.
Fort Vanoy, yeah.
Yeah, we actually haunted the maze. Okay, it was pretty fun. It was fun to. Yeah, no. I'm too easy to scare. One startle and I'm done.
Was the one that you were at yesterday as big as that one in Fort Vanoy? Would you say?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. I thought it was better organized. They have like a food. They have a food venue area. That's pretty nice. They have live music. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. You buy your tickets online. It's cheaper than if you buy them to get in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a historic house that does a haunted house in Gold Hill.
Yeah.
One of those big old, like 1900 houses.
No,
I
will
want to go
not.
check that out.
No, I will not go through that. No, I couldn't even go through the one that we did at work.
Right.
No. Yeah, my girls haunted it one year. Alex and Alicia were in it. They were part of somebody's room. Got all dressed up, glow in the dark stuff. Why? What were you normally?
We were just whatever theme kind of. We just changed each year with the theme, but we were just scared.
Did you dress up?
Yeah, we had to. Just I don't remember really.
You don't? I remember it.
I remember people would always scream.
Well,
when they come
yeah.
to our rooms. We'd use a lot of fog and scary stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll stick to like the B train. I'll stick to the kids' B train. I always did the games. I was always in charge of games. You know how we did games for the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beanbag tosses and
Yeah.
things like that. Face painting.
Fishing, face painting. It was good. Safe Halloween for the kids. But people lived for that haunted house. It was a good haunted house.
Yeah, Felita Short loved that.
Yep. She did. She would always dress up cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Guy loved it. Do you remember Guy? How can you forget Guy?
Cadillac driving.
Yep.
CEO.
So Kenan and I had a pretty fun job. We just have to say that. We liked our old job.
Yes.
I don't know if I could sit at a computer that long again, but it was a fun job. So you want to make sure that the ends of their feet are felted. Like I said, this is all going to be felted firm. All. And I'm working all this extra that I had on the leg into the body. So normally we make a butt right here, right? Where his legs come up. We're not going to do that. It's all flat. This is flat. I'm going to switch to my multi-tool just to go a little faster. Still be mindful of the wires that are in there. So I want you to, when you're felting this, I want you to think, okay, this was a block of wood. This is a block of wood. It needs to be flat, square. They hand carved them. So kind of think about wood carving while you're felting and what a pocket knife would do. Or I don't know what they carved them with. Ooh, Amazon's here. Amazon and I are tight. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, I get like everything off Amazon.
Yeah, I don't go to the store very often anymore. It's bad. Well, first of all, I don't like to drive anymore. I used to love to drive. Driving is no fun when you can't turn your head.
Yeah. Not not very safe.
No, it's not super. Well, I do things to make it safe, but it's just not very fun. It's not like you can just hop in the car and go. You really have to think about things. And it gives me headaches. So I'm making, see how his legs go straight down, straight down. You know, normally we're putting in a haunch or, you know, all of this. We're not. They're just straight. And we're going to work, you're going to work until that's nice and even. Stand up, buddy. I'm testing him out right now. Test him out. Make sure that his legs are nice and straight and even now. So now let's, I know this needs a lot more felting, and I will demonstrate how much more in a minute. So now let's work on his head for a minute. Normally I would tell you to keep doing this because that's what I want to keep doing. So they have, these Dala horses have this is wide. So it's going to come straight up, triangle and down. But you see how this almost goes to the middle of his back. So let's make a little pillow shape. Basically, I just rolled that up. And we are going to place this right here. Stab it on. It is unwieldy, trust me. Just tack it. Had that little leftover piece. We're going to wrap this around. Tight. I know you're like, Karen said it has to be tight. Well, it's going to be. The mistake I made with this one is that this is not wide enough here. I like him, but he's not wide enough. He looks more like a pony you'd find on a merry-go-round. Yeah, we're stabbing this nice and tight. Remember, there's a wire. I'm going to keep reminding you that you have wire in here. Now I'm going to come around, again, tight. If you see, I go around, I'm flat, I go around, and then I'm pulling it a little bit to make it super tight. Now this piece, I'm actually going to go over the top. And Cannon's right, at this point, it could become a sheep, it could become a cow, it could become anything. We're going to turn it into a horse. Flip it over, work from both sides. A little piece here. I'm going to make another little pillow. I'm going to tuck it right here. Fill this shape in. You know, I hate that we can't have music playing in our videos. We'd probably get copyright infringement, huh?
Yeah, we used to do a little background tone, but I got a lot of comments from people they were wishing that there was no music. So
I know, but I'm talking like classical music or something. You know, not that weird stuff. Okay, our neck is building up, And we're going to go around again. Remember what I said, this is going to go straight up. Now, just like the body, we don't want the neck to get too wide. We don't want it wider than 1.5 inches, and we're about there. You can tell by it being the size of the body. So now we're going to have to work in a different way. Because we got most of our bulk in there. See, I still have a lot of loose stuff in here. Sorry, I squirrel when I'm felting. It's like, oh, that needs poked. So we know that his head needs to curve. We're starting to get our curve. And I keep pushing it down because I need it flatter. Working along the curve. So where we need build up now is right here. I'm just going to stack some fiber. Remember, you can always add, you just can't take away. So we're going to add a little bit at a time. We have not worked on his nose yet, so don't get impatient for his nose. I like a little teeny bit of overhang right here. I think it looks better than straight up and down. So it's not totally traditional. Just a little teeny bit. You can see we're filling this in. We're getting that little teeny bit of overhang. And we have we're getting a nice rounded neck. Remember what I said, his neck goes out almost, we're going to fill this in. Let's make another stack. We're going to fill this space in right here. This is not a traditional shaped horse. It's kind of a fantasy shaped horse. Because this part of the body is really short. Now remember what I said, we want this thinner up here along this edge. That's technically where the mane is. I'm just working along so you guys can see how I'm forming this neck. So thinner up here at the top, works down into the body. So what we're working on right now is this area right here. You can see how they have it carved out. Cannon is sad because I don't have any eggs to give him today. There's a few reasons. One, I cooked a lot with him last week.
Yeah, how
Two,
did that casserole turn out?
Oh, it's so good. So good.
I've been thinking about making one.
Okay, it's delicious. And then two, I have a hen. We do not have a rooster who has decided she needs to hatch some eggs. So she's broody, and while they're broody, they don't lay. I keep kicking her off the nest. I've tried a few different things. Nothing is working. She's so broody, she's a little bit dehydrated, and her comb has flopped over. So we've tried the cold water treatment. We've tried a bunch of stuff. Nothing is working. All right. And so we're only getting 4 to 5 eggs a day, not 6, because she's not laying. She's just got to go through her cycle, and then she'll be done. I started calling her Flopsy because her comb has flopped over. I hate when they're broody because they don't eat. But she does go out and eat and drink after I kick her off when I collect the eggs. I go out there and there's 3 chickens in one nest. I'm like, ladies, there are 3 nests. You don't need to do this. So what you can see is this is getting thinner along here. So this is the main part. Main. All right, let's build up his little nose. You can see my pile of corbels getting smaller. I think I had a little bit more than the 2 ounces there. So now the face is sculpted, so we want to make this super tight. Super tight. Wrapping it around his muzzle, top of his head. It's going to start looking like a horse now. As we elongate this muzzle. So if you're making a real horse, you'd be making nostrils and mouth, and we're not. We're just making this squared off triangular piece here. That was like redundant. Squared off triangular piece. This is your triangle, this is your square. So I just keep adding along. And the muzzle on my horse is about 1.5 inches. I'm going to start folding this in. I'm telling you, if you've made a lot of animals, you're going to want to round it, and it's so hard not to. Be careful when you're stabbing close to your fingers. See, I don't think that's long enough yet. Let me look here. Just kind of get the shape, the lay of the land. Look at a picture. We're going to need some more up there. Let's put a little bit more here on the end. We had our last wedding on Saturday. It was beautiful. It was a very nice wedding. It was good. Weather held out, luckily. It rained all week up until the wedding. It was pretty cool. There's video of it out on the LangoCreekRanch.com website if anybody wants to see it. It's pretty good. John has a drone video, but we need to figure out how to put that up there. So no, we need a little bit more of a crest. So let's make a little roll. And we're going to add it up here because we need that head to be super curved. So you can see we're getting a mane area. We've got our head area. This is going to straighten out. So let's get this on, and then I'll show you how to add the ears. And then I'm going to show you what I've been poking on for most of the day. So this is not a short, quick poke. This is a felt that takes time just because of the amount of firmness that is necessary before we dress it. So we have the basic shape. This comes to the middle of the back. Got our legs. It's nice and square. Little bit of rounding there. Little bit. Not much, but square, square, square. So for the ears, they're this triangle. And what I did was I used my skewer and I I'm wrapping the width of the head round. So I can wrap it tight. I just need a base to start with. I'm going to slide that off. And this is going to go right about there. Because we want these ears to go forward. And let's stab this on. If you have any fringe left at the edges, use that to tack it on. And this is where it starts to get tricky. We're going to get some small pieces. We're going to put it over the top. We're going to form that triangle. It's kind of cool that we don't have to make real horse ears, that we can only make a triangle, but triangles are tricky. So visualize it in your head. You got that nice hard base at the bottom, and what we're making is this top piece. So you can lay it on the edge of your pad and stab here. Up at the top, and then flip it over. I'm just stabbing the top of that, where that triangle is going to be. Right now it looks like a mess, doesn't it? Yeah. So let's clean this up. And you'll start to see the triangle come to shape. Okay, mind that is not all stabbed in yet, so it's going to be loose. We have this loose stuff over here. As you stab into the side, you're stabbing more of that roll we put on there into your head. I need to stab more on this side. And that's how we're going to make the ears. So you see they're all in there right now. This guy, he's perfect. Perfect shape. Now, I am at a point where all this needs is stab to finish. Stab and stab and stab. So he's still pretty squishy. I'm going to show this to you now because normally we'll pause and we'll go along and I'll say, I stabbed on this for a while. Hand me my other dude. So I stabbed on this all day, you guys. This is the same size wires, same size body. You see how not squishy this is? He is firm. You know you're done when your stabs start to felt. So what I've done is felted in this mane. See how it comes up and it's thin? These are hard as a rock. It's hard as a rock. And this is ready to cover. So this will become this size when you're done stabbing. Actually, his legs are a little bit longer, which is good. But that's the size of the body you're going to end up with. So we have this curve in the neck. We have this. It's all nice and firm. See how I like it to stick out just a little? But it's hard as a rock. Don't you agree?
It is very hard.
And this is super squishy like a pillow. Like a nice down pillow. So this will take another couple hours of stabbing to get to this. I feel like I'm cheating you because I'm not showing you, but you would be bored out of your mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is we're going to cover it. So what I did here is I took scarlet. This is as close as I could get to this color. This is 50% scarlet, 50% begonia. So a red orange and a bright red that I mixed together. And your job now is to just cover this guy. You're just going to go through and put it everywhere. And you can decide where you want to do it. You just don't want to see any core wool. So your horse will get a little tiny bit bigger as you add the color. And you're just going to go through and stab it. Again, it's going to have to be nice and firm, stabbed in. Because then we're going to, well, we might. Then you got to decorate. And decorating, I need you to look at pictures. There are so many different designs of these horses and how they do them. So it's really how you want to decorate it. We're going to coat this guy in red. And I'm not going to make you watch me do it. I'm going to make Cannon sit here and watch me do it. But you don't have to. So we'll be right back to you after this guy is all coated in red. Okay, so we really did not want to bore you with all of this poking. Oh my goodness. But you can see how firm this guy is. And so like, it will take a lot more poking to get this super nice and smooth, but I don't want to make you guys wait that long. So, or Cannon. I don't want to make Cannon wait that long. So let's start a little bit of the decorations. Again, I'm going to tell you, go online, look at the pictures, because there's so many different ways that you can decorate these. And when you start thinking about this, you know, like this is on top of this. So this has to be first. This has to be first. Then you can go ahead and put that design on. But this takes a lot of time. We're just sitting here discussing if we're going to make you watch the whole thing again. But we're going to start. I'm going to use, that's not Snow White. This is a little bit of Snow White. And the background of this, you can take a pen and actually draw these on here if you want. But I'm just going to stab them on. So what we've got is we got a bunch of little circles. They're like ovals. And you can actually draw where you want your design to be. So we're going to do little circles. I have an idea of something I'm going to do. And notice I am not stabbing them all the way in yet. I know, Cannon, we can compromise. We can do one side of the horse.
That sounds good. They can figure it out.
And then you guys can figure out the other side.
Yeah.
So we'll do one side. Because we're trying to figure out how to make this we don't want to make you sit here forever. Because the decor, I think I posted this in our Facebook group. this decor takes time to get it looking really good. So I'm making these like ovals. Blob. This is going to be your, what is this? On a horse, this is the girth belt or the cinch. So you know how I gather, I don't like all my white fibers to be out there in the world. I'm just gathering them up. So we know that the saddle part is going to come. It's a flower. It looks like it's a big flower. So we have these. Again, when you're doing these, you don't want your red to show through, just like you didn't want your core to show through your red. And then if you didn't hear me when I talked about the color that I just used on this horse, it's begonia, which is a reddish orange mixed with scarlet. And I actually mix it on my drum carder. You could mix it by hand with a dog brush, even by hand. It's a nice color, but it's the closest I could get to this color in that picture. So I'm actually making this 3D a little bit. You see how I poofed it up? And now I'm going to stab it all the way in. And you could actually make your own decor up. You know, just doodle with wool what kind of saddle you want or what kind of design. I think on my other guy I did a flower on the top and some dots. But if you didn't have your form underneath firm enough, you would not be able to do this. Your designs that you've worked very hard to think about would be sinking all the way inside of your horse because you want them to sit up on the top. This guy doesn't have enough. And when you poke around the edges of them, it kind of gives you a little bit of a relief. It sculpts them in so that they're standing. You can see them from the side. So you don't want them to go down inside your horse. So then we're going to need to come this way. Another way you could do these balls is you could go like this. You can do a flat piece. Or maybe I'll just do a flat piece. But you could gather it in. Let's get the centers done first. I'm going to try 2 needles at once and see what happens. I'm letting that fiber go up there because it will be covered. So now let's take this. I like to gather the fibers along the edge and tuck them under. Okay, I do like the white on the red. It stands out. The other thing, when you get down into these details and you get close to finishing, you're gonna want to grab a 42 spiral, or just a 42 triangle, super fine needle, to catch up all these extra fibers and get the edges of these neat and clean. You can't just jump into one of these guys. They take time. So that kind of worked. So I was thinking, I have these locks. So I'm going to veer off the picture here for a minute. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to go around. Because remember, it's art, guys. It's art. You can just... I am just going to put the locks around. And look, it's giving us all the little bumpies. It's giving us texture. Oh, I like that. That looks good. So what I'm doing is taking a single lock and I'm coming around. And you're going to want to layer your designs. See, I don't have him totally poked in yet because I'm just trying to give you guys an idea. So on there they have some other dots. Let's see, I've got some yellow. Let's make our dots yellow. Got some yellow. And then we're going to make a dot here. I think Rip is dreaming about eating below us. He's like eating, but he's sleeping. He had such a big weekend with my grandchild. Oh my gosh. He was in heaven. So we're just going to build those kind of dots. Now for the top part, if we're making it into a flower, we're going to find your staple. Actually, make your petal. Make your petal. Because that will fall right here. And go to the center of your back. I think this is one of the most classic designs they have. It's just that I'm using different techniques, like with the locks. I'm not going to worry about filling that in yet. Should fill itself in. And we know we're going to have another one on this side. So that can come that way. Okay, we need another petal. Just bend it around. So we're making petals before we put them on. And again, we know there's going to be another one opposite this one. So what's left can just go to the center and then fan out for the next petal over there. And see how it poofs up? So that will look good. Ken is sitting over there. He can't see what I'm doing. You guys can see, but he cannot. He's like, I don't know what she's doing over there. So fun, we can take a green lock, and in the picture it has green and then it has blue. So we can actually do something like this, green, just like is in this part. Let's let that fly up there. I'm going to bring it back down onto this one. And no need to add another layer because we can take this nifty Caribbean blue color. Could you hand me a pair of scissors? I'm not going to pull this lock apart. What I'm going to do, thank you, is I am going to take this. So you can decorate however you want. And like I'm using locks, you can use fiber. Oh, do you need to know where the rest of the stash is? Because they were eating it today. I was like, ooh, they're eating the candy.
I think there's enough here.
Okay. I always have candy on my table. So we came around here with the blue, so we can come back up here. Just stretch these locks out. I like the texture the locks are giving in the flowers. Looks kind of neat. I really like that color blue with this red. And see, I ran out of lock there, so I'm going to add some more green. You can overlap them. It's not going to hurt anything. Just remember to poke it all the way in. And then we have one right here. So I could either continue with these balls around, or I can just do this. That will be cool because that is enough texture to get us where we need to go. So these locks come out of the stems blend that you guys love so much. Let's go around that one totally. I've been dyeing this color every single month. That's how much everybody loves this color. I just need a little piece here. Don't be afraid to cut your locks. Pulling them makes them fuzzy. So, and if you have fuzzes just like that, use the fuzz to attach them. Now, I don't like this plain white. Let's see. Let's put a purple dot in there. So really, the sky is the limit to your decorations, guys. This is going to be way cool. When it's done, it's like doodling with wool, drawing circles. if you wanted, you could even use ribbon. So we can take a piece of this purple and we can come through here. But for this to be truly finished, all of this needs to be poked in really, really, really well. Especially if it's going to be a Christmas ornament. And it's going to be stuck to a pine tree, you know, a Christmas tree, because the Christmas trees pull this stuff off. That looks kind of cool. All right, I need one more petal. So we need one right here. I jumped the gun on the decor. I should have put all the petals on first. Where's my center? You can hear how firm the horse is underneath of these designs, which is really good because it keeps them sitting on top. You know, you could even go back and add bling, you know, like your little sparkly rhinestones and stuff. If you want to make this guy super fancy. I don't have my blue poked in enough. I think you guys are getting the idea of what we're doing here. So Ken and I have a question. So, because it's going to take me hours to finish this, can we put a picture of the yellow guy on the video, and then when I'm done with this, switch it out for a red guy?
Yeah, I can change the
I'm just curious.
YouTube picture. Yeah.
Since you are the video guru. Because I don't want to put a half-done guy up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want him to look really cool if we're going to put him up there. So this is a little piece. Because he's starting to look cool, but it's going to take time. If you are a doodler, this is the artwork for you. Because I like to doodle. Well, I can't just sit still. If I have a pen and there's paper, yeah, I'm doodling. So I know you guys are getting the idea here. Whoa, that is purple. We don't want that. Or is it blue? No, it's blue. Okay, get in there. So these are all going to meet up here. And then there will be another color on top. At least that's what I am envisioning. So I know you guys are getting the idea. And now, the one thing I did notice in this part right here is almost always the same. This comes down like this. This comes around the nose. Very, very similar on almost all of the Dala horses. So you're going to take whatever color halter you're using. The halters are almost all the same. I tended to go around a couple times just to get it thick enough. And then we have to get all those white pieces tucked in. Anybody who's felted little tiny lines before knows that this takes patience. Again, felt from the side. Now be mindful that you're not going through the muzzle because the white will come out on the other side and we don't want that. So when you're felting, stay inside the muzzle, don't come out the other side. It's pretty easy to do. I'm trying to gather all the little white fibers. If you wanted to be really persnickety, you could use embroidery thread and just tie it on there. So this piece goes from here. If you have a fabric transfer marker, like a disappearing ink one, you can draw your design on first. You know, I'm always like really crazy winging it. Just looking at the picture, I kind of wing it and put it in there. So it's skinny and then it gets wide. It's getting dark way too early.
Yeah, and then I think November 2nd or something like that, we lose an hour, and it sucks.
When are they going to stop that?
I thought they were going to do it this year.
I did too. I hate daylight savings.
Awful.
My sheep hate daylight savings. They're like...
The sun comes up, because you wake up early though, right?
Yeah.
So
it doesn't really... Huh?
Did you get more daylight that way, kind of?
Well, it's not that. It's just that their feed schedule gets off. If, you know, hey, where are you?
Yeah.
Why haven't we eaten yet?
It's a depressing season.
It's not too bad. But... So basically, we're just making a horse halter here, you guys. And I know you're getting the idea. So we are not going to make you watch this whole thing. So for the eyeballs, all I did... You don't have to, it doesn't look like they really have eyes, but I couldn't handle it with no eyes. So I poked them in, and then I used the alcohol marker and just filled that in with black. So I just poked in a little sleepy eye. I don't like that spot right there. That's okay, it's going to get another piece of white. So I'm taking very few fibers and then I'm drafting it out and then I'm twisting it. And this piece goes from here up. Well, this one's different than the other one I did. The picture. We're just going to go from here. And you can go pull this off. You can actually have it come across the top here if you want, just like a real horse halter. Or, where'd that piece go? Where'd my piece go? I lost my piece. I don't know where it went. And then it comes from here around. And then you have all of this design in here if you want to put that in. So it's up to you what you put in your Dala horse. I just want to get you started. What do you think, Cannon? Yes?
It's turning out nice.
See, I think it needs more right in here of a darker color. I have to think about what I want to do in there. I'll probably put another yellow dot there. And I might put some dots here. I have to think about this. But for now, this is my doodling complete. I have some purple in the white that I do not like. Again, this is not a project that you can go super, super fast on because you have to stop and think about where you want your designs. But it is a fun one and it'll make a great ornament or a gift. So thanks for joining me. If you need supplies, head over to linegate.org. Make sure you like this video, share it. We want you to share it and follow us because that really helps us out. Again, this is Scarlet and Begonia 50-50 mix. And it's not going to take you more than 1/4 of an ounce to cover this size horse. I mixed 2 1/4 ounces and I still have this much left. And then just basic locks and any of your scraps. We all have those scraps. I know that. Just go into your little bits and decorate your horse. And I can't wait to see you post them on the group. This is going to be really fun to see how many different kind of designs everybody comes up with. So have a great day and we'll see you next time.